Hello, Max Mamas. I had to put my stuff down. I wasn't quite ready. The countdown went quicker than I thought it would.
And Max Datas, come on.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got the OG Max Daddy here, Dr. Brent DeLong.
I don't know if I like the name OG. It makes me seem like I'm old.
You are old.
As old as this frame of mind.
I shouldn't say that because I'm older than you are.
Yeah, you should say
True.
that.
I get the question a lot. Do I call you Dr. Brent at home? And the answer is no.
Sometimes.
No, just at the office. I just call him Dr. Brent at the office. So I have Dr. Brent on here with us today, and we're going to dive into a little bit of the blog that I wrote earlier this week. So if you haven't downloaded the blog, go onto the website, download the blog. We're going to talk about toxicity, and we're going to talk about the 5 essentials. We're going to talk a little bit about chiropractic, and we're just going to see kind of how the conversation goes. It's always interesting when we have two passionate docs that are going to talk philosophy, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
It gets really exciting. So as you can see, Paris is not here with us today. Paris, we are cheering her on from afar. She is doing the Army thing today. I don't always quite know what she's doing. I just know she's a really...
Being a badass is what she's doing.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I just didn't know if I could say that. So way to take it there.
Is there limits on what you can say?
No,
Oh.
not with us.
Okay.
No. Anyway, she's doing some training with the Army stuff today. So I think that's really awesome. I think not only are we moms and we're entrepreneurs, she has her Army life, and we just all wear a lot of hats. So we honor her today, and we cheer her on from afar. And she'll catch up and watch the video later. So if you're watching, give us a thumbs up, give us a heart, and share. Let people know that you're watching. Cool? Cool. All right. So I want to start with, like I said earlier, I've been doing, my blogs that I've been doing have really right now been focused around the 5 essentials. And the 5 essentials, what we do in our office, we're chiropractors. I'm a prenatal pediatric chiropractor, so I only take care of pregnant women and, for the most part, babies. Not that you ever age out with me as a chiropractor. It really just depends on what you come into the office and what you need. Because as I split off and did prenatal pediatric, Dr. Brent really focuses on something called spinal correction. So in a nutshell, can you tell them what spinal correction is as a chiropractor?
So spinal correction is really focused on the structural integrity of the spine. So, you can get adjusted and it can feel great, but if your spine's not getting corrected or the misalignment's not getting stabilized, then the spine's still weak and it can still degenerate and it's going to consistently go back or continue to go in the wrong direction. And so that's really where a lot of our approach comes with the specific spinal rehab, the specific adjustments, some different tools that we use to strengthen and stabilize the spine. And so ultimately it's to try to actually get change in the structure to make sure the spine's stronger, it's more stable, it's not degenerative, the discs are super strong, as well as making sure there's no stress pressure on that nerve system so the body can function and heal and be, injury resistant as much as possible.
Yeah. So I'd like to connect a couple dots. I get a lot of questions, not only in my chiropractic office, but over at Max Mamas with some of the things that I put out in a blog or some of the things that we carry. And I'll say things a lot like, we do things on purpose at Max Mamas, and that's very true, and I want to actually dive into that a little bit, and you kind of hit on it, and I don't even know if you realize that you did, but one of the things that I get in my re-exam specifically in pediatrics as I'm talking to a mom is, okay, so we've had chiropractic care, we've been getting adjusted, what else can we do? And the reality is that it's quite as simple as an apple today is not like an apple it was 50 years ago. We say that all the time. I wish that chiropractic could stand alone in the way of if you just get adjusted, things are going to be so much better. And here's the reality. It is. Your body is going to start to function better, but it's not just chiropractic. We have the 5 essentials. So core chiropractic, then we dive into nutrition. You could imagine, like I just said, an apple today is not an apple it was 50 years ago, right?
Plus, there's so many different ideas of nutrition protocols and different diets, and there's so many misconceptions. I joke about, there's a diet for everything. There's like the Hollywood cookie diet, or there's the Taco Bell diet. Like those are real things, but like obviously, like there are very bad diets, and then there are very good diets. And some people come in and they have no idea what they should do because there's way too much information and not enough guidance.
Absolutely. Then we get into essential number 3, which is mindset, which potentially could be one of my favorite
or most important
essentials. Yeah, or most important, absolutely. We're not going to talk too much about mindset today. We could do an entire hours worth of philosophy on mindset. We get into essential number 4, which is going to be oxygen and exercise, and then essential number 5, which is minimizing toxins. I think for the most part, people think that essential number 5, the minimizing toxins, is potentially the most overwhelming, because I think on some level we can all agree that toxins are everywhere. We know that, right? We have toxic air. Just everything that we kind of come into contact with is toxic. And I think no matter where you're at in your health journey, you can recognize some of those things, whether you recognize something as toxic and get it out of your life, or you know that you're doing it and you know that it's toxic, you just don't know what another alternative answer is. Yeah. But I think for the most part, we can agree that almost everything that we do, to some degree, has a decision with it that could be toxic or not be toxic. Does that make sense? So I say, if we could focus in on the toxins just a little bit, I say start with basic stuff. Start with the fact that there's 2 types of generalized, not necessarily toxins, but the way you can split it is there's things that you can get away from, and there's things that you can't get away from.
So just on this essential 5, this minimizing toxins, too many people think of toxins like the big stuff, I don't know, poisons or alcohol or tobacco or pollution or stuff like that. But really, when you really look at toxins, it's there. You go down the rabbit hole and people start to get overwhelmed with toxic exposure.
Absolutely.
There is potentially toxic exposure everywhere, and literally just being aware of where potential toxins are coming from is a game changer, because if you don't realize how toxic different aspects are or different elements are, then you don't know what you don't know, and you can't fix things that you don't know are a problem. So just becoming aware of where toxins are even coming from, the major sources of toxins, and then you're right, some you can control, some you can't, and then you do your best to eliminate those that you can control, and then detox the rest.
Through the years of chiropractic, back when chiropractic was first, I don't like to say chiropractic was discovered per se, it's back when chiropractic first started getting what I like to call honored, right? So back when chiropractic first started getting honored, maybe it was as simple as getting adjusted. So let me just say for 2 seconds, getting adjusted in a nutshell is flipping the switch back on, turning the power back on, right? So when it comes to nutrition, for example, you can eat the best food on the planet, excuse me, you can have the most organic everything that's going into your body, the best supplements, you're doing the best things, but if your body doesn't know what to do with it, if your brain is not talking to your body and your body's not talking back up to your brain at 100%, then you're not going to get the most out of all the good things that you're doing to your body. So I think chiropractic is it's easy to connect the dots between neck pain, back pain, car accidents, injuries, those types of things that, and chiropractic, that makes sense. But I live in such a world, because I'm a prenatal pediatric chiropractor, that I don't get kids coming into my office saying, my neck hurts, doc, can you pop it? That doesn't happen. I don't have moms come in and go, here's my 2-day-old, He's got back pain.
Yeah.
Can you help him? That's not what I get. But I do get moms coming in that have a 4-month-old that says, listen, this baby has been colic for a month, or this baby hasn't pooped in 4 days. Or, I mean, 2-year-olds that have had chronic ear infections, or little kids that have UTIs chronically.
Not latching properly, not sleeping.
Properly. Absolutely. Like all of these things that, yes, chiropractic can help with. It's not one specific adjustment for each thing. It's a matter of removing the interference to the nerve system, right? So again, that brain-body, body-brain connection can be there at 100% because you're born with the ability to heal and thrive and survive. So why are these small babies or even pregnant moms that, like, listen, as a woman, we're designed to have babies, right? Why is maybe the process being interrupted? Pregnant women I do have come and going, like, doc, my back hurts. Like, we gotta figure this out, especially when you're on baby like number 6. Like, I get that. But I need you guys to know what I know, and that is that the body is a healing machine if given the right tools.
You're designed to be healthy. You're created to be healthy.
Exactly, which to me is a really, really exciting thing.
Yeah.
So again, going back to maybe back when chiropractic first started getting honored, it was maybe just chiropractic. It was just turning on the switch again. But as we go through the years and we come up to the year of 2020, if you've been down the rabbit hole as far as we've been down the rabbit hole and done the research that we've done and just are woke on so many things, the nutrition that we're trying to get fed today isn't as quality as we want it to be.
Yeah,
Even
50 years ago there was no. Yeah, 50 years ago there was no such thing as organic.
Yeah.
It was all organic.
Yeah.
There wasn't as much fake food as there is today.
And like the organic section in the grocery store is getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Have you ever noticed that? And like the GMO section is getting bigger and bigger, which is a whole nother. And then there's so much in the way of like false marketing. I don't know how else to say that.
Oh yeah,
but,
like the gluten-free stuff.
Yeah,
a lot of times the gluten-free stuff, because everybody knows how bad gluten can be, even if you have an intolerance or not. It's, obviously, gluten is just harmful to the body.
Yeah.
But too many of these like gluten-free options are worse than the gluten because of all the fillers that are in there. So it's just, again, it's a marketing scam, like saying it's all natural, like. Yeah, all natural fake ingredient.
That's what I was just going to say too. It goes over to the other supplies that you're doing in life, the things that you're washing your hair with, the things that you're putting on your skin, the things that you're, the pacifiers that you're putting in your baby's mouth. If you choose to do a pacifier, if you choose to, or have some kind of reason that you need to bottle feed, like the plastic that those things that are going, like, this is what I mean when I say we do things on purpose. Mm-hmm. Like I've researched, I know that the world out there is a daunting world. Like, where do I start? That's the question I get the most. Like, where do I start? Was this really hard for you to do, to go non-toxic? Mm-hmm. It just sounds like, it sounds so expensive. I get all of these types of questions. And as I'm talking to my patients in their progress checks, and they've been under chiropractic care, whether they're 35 having their 6th baby or they're 35 hours old, like they've had an adjustment. Like, what else can we do? And it boils down to, well, what other parts of these 5 essentials are we not hitting on the head, right? And a lot of it comes down to toxicity, which birthed really the idea and the mission of Max Mamas, which is really exciting. You were gonna say something.
So when we talk about like why has like Max Living evolved into the 5 essentials, and this even goes back to the initial philosophy in the chiropractic lifestyle, is we're always trying to remove interference. Mm-hmm. So the body's designed to be healthy, but we can interfere with that expression of health through toxins. Yep. Or through bad nutrition, or not enough good nutrition, or if you're not moving enough and you're not getting oxygen into the system, like we have a genetic requirement for movement, exercise. If you have a stress or a trauma that subluxates the spine and the body's not communicating properly, you have deficiency in the body's ability to respond to stress or adapt or to heal. So the whole premise of this kind of healthcare philosophy is always about trying to remove interference and to promote health, support health, and remove interference. Give the body what it needs, remove what's going to interference. Because at the end of the day, there's really only two causes to disease.
Yep.
There is deficiency and toxicity. And deficiency could be in nutrition, in oxygen, in nerve supply, or toxicity. I mean, those are the two categories. So by trying to identify those and implementing better lifestyle choices like the 5 essentials, focusing on those 5 essentials, all you're doing is removing reasons why your body wouldn't be healthy and giving it the tools it needs to express health at 100%.
Yeah. Most of the things, not all the things, but most of the things that we have over in the store in Max Mamas are things that you're going to buy anyway, right? They're either A, you're going to buy them anyway, or B, at some point you're going to need them, right? So like diapers, for example, you can cloth diaper, or you don't have to cloth diaper if that's not something that you want to do, but you're going to buy diapers anyway. You need to understand the quality of diaper that you're getting, because there's a load of toxins that are going into your baby. And just to really kind of put it bluntly, I think that that's probably one of the biggest requirements as a parent is to not only make sure that your child stays alive, right? Like feed them and clothe them and bathe them, like making sure they're survive. But it's to teach them about health, and especially in our household, and I think you could probably agree with this, is that we want Kensley to grow up even healthier than what we did. We don't not just want to pass on how we grew up, because I think, especially on a woman's point, is your mom taught you how to do most things, like cook and clean, and you use what she used. Like that's just kind of how things get passed down generationally, right?
Yeah, more so than genetics.
Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. But it's changing generations, and that's how you're going to do that, is by finding the things that you're doing that is maybe not so great now and passing that on to your kids. So,
but on that note, like when it comes to like buying different products, we have the conversation all the time. Like, well, you're going to buy laundry detergent anyway. Might as well buy the non-toxic stuff.
Yeah.
You're going to buy dish soap, or you're going to buy cleaning products, or you're going to, health. You're going to buy toys. You might as well buy something that isn't going to cause disease.
Cause disruption. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Disease and disruption. Yeah. I had a conversation with one of my patients yesterday, and I know them well enough to know that they are non-toxic people. Like, I know this family. I know I was there when her baby was born. Like, I know how this family lives their life. And she was asking me a health question on the baby, and the answer was that this baby had a little bit of a toxicity issue. And so we went through that. I say that to say this: toxicity is cumulative. The decisions that you make today, especially as a female, the eggs that you have your entire life. And the toxicity level in you, if you're not doing something to consistently get these toxins out, they will accumulate inside of you, and toxins do settle in eggs. So when that lucky egg is chosen to get fertilized and you have a baby, there's a toxic load that gets passed on to your beautiful baby. No matter how non-toxic you are now, right? We need to do some work to clean you up from before. So
because that goes 3 generations, right?
Yeah, 3 generations.
When you're pregnant with your child, if it's a female, then your toxicity during pregnancy will affect your unborn baby's eggs.
Yeah.
That's 3 generations. Yeah. In fact, they did a study where they looked at, I don't know if you're going to talk about this, the blood cord, the fetal cord blood. There was over like 260 different pollutants found in brand new baby cord blood.
They actually took the cord blood from the baby before the baby was even born. They went through the stomach of the mom and they took cord blood. So this baby hadn't even been exposed to air, to earth yet. And it's just the toxic load that gets passed on. There was over 250 different chemicals, toxic chemicals inside of this baby.
So if you don't think that, like, if you're maybe sitting there thinking like, well, yeah, I don't do a lot of those bad toxic things, I mean, this is you. This is everybody. I mean,
This is everybody.
this is everyone.
Yeah.
You can't neglect essential number 5, which is minimizing toxins, because it is affecting every single person. You cannot be alive today and not have to worry about toxins.
Yeah. And again, just speaking into the specific world that I live in is, again, babies don't really need a lot of exercise, right? So like what I'm saying is each essential is extremely important, right? Now, when I talk about quote unquote exercise with babies, I talk about it in the way of, obviously they're not going to run on the treadmill, but what they do need is to be laid down, whether that's on their back for a small bit of time because they've been in a car seat or something, and they need to kick it out. They need to move, right? They need to be on their bellies. They need to be lifting their head. In this kind of world, we talk about it as exercise or stretches or whatever they need to be doing at home. But each essential is essential.
You have to call essentials for a reason.
Yeah, so each person should be doing all of them, but each person is maybe at a different level on each one of them. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So maybe in Dr. Brent's world, where he deals with a whole lot more adults, exercise might be more of a topic for some people, depending on what kind of health goals that they have.
Where they're at in their health journey, if they can take that essential on.
Nutrition might be a really big one as well. In my world, babies that are breastfed, we don't talk a ton about nutrition. We talk about it with mom a little bit, but I would say toxicity is right after chiropractic comes real close toxicity.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's such a passion of mine to help you guys reduce that toxic load. It's just, there's no better time than to start right now. Mm-hmm. So if you haven't gone onto our website, maxmamasok.com, go on there and download our challenge, our bingo challenge. So our bingo challenge is just a fun way to start thinking about stuff and small things that you can start to change over. I'll give you an example. I think, I don't remember which square it is, but I know the brand Go Silly is on there. And that's to start changing, I believe it's straws. That's to start changing out plastics. And it's not to change out your plastic straws and stop there. It's to think, oh, wow, am I storing food in plastic? That's probably not a good idea. Well, it's BPA free. No, awesome. It's still leaching other chemicals into your food, right? So whether you're storing in plastic or sandwich bags, that's a really big one. And we do it, I'll be honest, like 99% of what I do, just because this is my passion, is for the human body. But there's a large part of what we do at Max Mamas as well for the environment that we live in as well. So like reusable bags, not putting plastic into the world, because the more the world becomes toxic, the more you become toxic. It's such a waterfall cumulative effect that we each have to do our own thing, our own part in helping each other as well.
Yeah, you have to be responsible.
Yeah. I could talk about this for hours and hours. We should start a podcast. That would be fun. People would really want to listen to us. Hey, Paris. She's watching us on her break.
That
you
was
don't get a break in the Army?
That was like from 15 minutes ago.
I know. I just got caught up. It was 16 minutes ago. You don't get a break in the Army. Get back to work. I think she said, I think I'll see her this afternoon. So I would love to answer your guys' questions. We have a lot of things coming up. We have our Christmas in July. So you'll see on our Facebook that we're doing the 12 Days of Christmas. Those are coming from our bingo challenge. So go and look at our bingo challenge. All of this stuff is going to be on mega sale for you on the 25th of July. So it's coming up next weekend. We're having a huge sidewalk sale. It's going to be a fun little party. Come hang out with us. And start. I'll be there. I'll be there all day long. You can ask me all the questions. Where do you start? What are some of the things that you can think about? Bring in your bingo card, and for X's that you have marked off, I'll do something special for you, which is awesome. What else is coming up? I don't even know. I'm so excited about our Christmas in July. In August, right now, I'm going to do a little plug for DeLong Family Chiropractic. Right now, Dr. Brent is doing a series basically on it's health from within is what it's called, but he's really focusing on gut health, which is such connected to toxicity on so many levels. He's doing a 4-part series. He just did the first one. He talked about the gut-brain connection. Man, you guys, I see this in kids so much. It was so good. You got to message us and we'll get you connected with how to get hooked up with that. And then the second Tuesday of August, I'm actually starting a Healthy Kids series. So we're going to talk about your unborn baby and pregnancy and the state of health that our kids are in now. We're going to get into infants and babies. We're going to talk about toddlers and preschoolers, school age, teenagers, and then how to just really keep the whole family healthy. So we're going to break that down in 4 parts as well. So message us and I'll get you hooked up with all this awesome information. So did you want to say something?
Well, you were kind of talking about like how if you do all the right food, it sometimes isn't enough because you know the saying is you've heard this, I'm sure, like you are what you eat, which I mean that's true, but really it is you are what you absorb.
Yeah.
So if you have gut dysfunction, you know, you're probably robbing yourself, even if you're, you know, doing so good with, you know, investing in like the great nutrition or the great kind of supplements, you might not be absorbing it because you have gut dysfunction. Now, when I was talking to patients about like getting plugged into this event or this webinar series, is, you know, they talk about like gut dysfunction, like, oh, tummy aches or constipation or diarrhea or IBS, and those are all absolutely like warning signs of gut dysfunction.
Yep.
But so is things like mood issues, like depression or anxiety, any kind of skin issue, hormonal imbalance, energy issues, hair loss, nails. I mean, you name it. Like next to the brain, spinal cord, like next to your central nervous system, the gut is the most important organ when it comes to overall health and well-being. Yep. So yeah, we just hit that that first series was last Tuesday. Next Tuesday, the focus is going to be on inflammation and leaky gut.
Yeah, which, that's a big one.
If you haven't heard about leaky gut, it's a big deal, especially with kids and especially with a lot of different things that are going on. So I'm excited about Tuesday.
Yeah, really excited. All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We love you. We support you. We'll see you next time. Bye.